What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I am back with some more boxing. Now, earlier on the channel, I told you guys the disappointing heavyweight news. Tyson Fury has been declared not medically fit to continue with his rematch, so the Klitschko fight for now is being canceled, postponed, scrapped, not happening in October. Don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if Tyson Fury will get stripped or whatever the case is going to be, but that's one heavyweight fight. Another fight that was talked about that was Andy Ruiz. He had to get past his last opponent, and then Hughie Fury was supposed to be his next opponent. He pulls out of that fight. So just in general in boxing, it hasn't been that much upside with making these fights. It's like take Berto and Danny Garcia, and then that falls apart. Like, how hard are some of these fights to make? Canelo, Triple G. So the good news is you have a young, hungry lion who's a champion, and he doesn't seem like he has a problem fighting, and that's Anthony Joshua. And Eddie Hearn did an interview with Sky Sports, shout out to them. He says the likely contender or a front runner for Anthony Joshua, who is defending his IBF title November 26th in Manchester, is Joseph Parker, his mandatory. Bravo. I like this pick from Team Joshua and Eddie Hearn. I think you gotta really look at it. Now, before I get too far into it and kind of breaking it down, I gotta say this. There is a clause. Joseph Parker is the mandatory, I believe. He's kind of been stalling as far as the Joshua fight. It didn't seem like his team was sure if they wanted to proceed with their mandatory spot or get him some more on-the-job training. He does have a fight in between now and November, so he would have a quick turnaround if he gets past his opponent. He's fighting Alexander Dmytrenko, and he has two losses. He lost to Pulev, he got knocked out by him, and he also lost to Fast Eddie Chambers. Dmytrenko, not Joseph Parker. So if Parker gets past him, he's also a big dude. He's like 6'6", 6'7", Dmytrenko. And if Joseph Parker gets past him, and no injuries, God forbid, anything like that, cuts and stuff like that, then it looks like he's a front runner for Anthony Joshua November 26th. So he's gonna have to get right back in camp, and hopefully he doesn't take too much punishment or accidental clash of heads or anything like that. But I do like the fight. One, it satisfies the mandatory. I love what they're doing with Joshua's career. He's fighting frequently, which is what I like to see from a young, strong champion. You know what I mean? All these guys, I said it in the last video, the Tyson Fury Klitschko cancellation video. A lot of these guys are acting like they're money made, like they just have 19 years in the game and they can fight one time a year. You don't have it like that. You're not on the Forbes list. You gotta stay buzzing, stay relevant, keep your name out there, keep testing yourself, growing as a fighter. You know what I'm saying? Mayweather's Mayweather, Pacquiao's Pacquiao. And I love to see this from a guy like Joshua. You got to start really looking at the full picture. If, let's say, Joseph Parker gets past Dmytrenko, right? Joseph Parker is currently undefeated. He's like 20-0, and if he beats this Alexander Dmytrenko, then he's going to be 21-0. So he has more fights than Anthony Joshua, and he's undefeated. Guess what? Anthony Joshua, if you go to his box rec and his resume, his last 1, 2, 3, 4 opponents have all been undefeated. All of them. Gary Cornish, Dillian Whyte, Charles Martin, Dominic Breazeale. So if he fights his mandatory, he's satisfying not only a mandatory, but also taking on another undefeated fighter. You know what I mean? People aren't really doing stuff like that. And Joshua doesn't have that many fights as a pro. He has an Olympic gold medal. Some people dispute that he should have got that gold medal too. You know what I mean? They said he should have lost that fight, but it's in the past. Bottom line is he only has 17 fights, all knockouts, and he's frequently fighting, and he's fighting guys that should pose a challenge. You know what I mean? Charles Martin was a champion. Kind of controversial how it ended with Glasgow hurting his knee, but he still was a champion. He came over to the UK, he broke him down. Dominic Breazeale, an Olympian who was taller than Anthony Joshua. He beat him into submission, you know what I mean, and then ended up stopping him. Dillian Whyte, an age-old grudge match where Dillian Whyte knocked him down and kind of embarrassed him as an amateur with headgear and all this, and he had to bury the hatchet and fight this guy and avenge that loss, and he did that by stopping Dillian Whyte, who was also undefeated. So I'm really liking the career of Anthony Joshua. I've said it for a while. If you follow my channel, especially if you follow me on Instagram, I know I talk about Joshua a lot. I just really like what they're doing. I like to watch his career blossom. He's not really, there's not much fat, you know what I mean? It's just getting straight to the beans and the meat, you know what I mean? And He's fighting people he should be fighting at this point. Some people are like, oh, but who's Gary Cornish? But you got to keep in mind, the dude doesn't even have 20 fights. Let him learn. Let him have title defenses. And then the big fights will come. Tyson Fury, David Haye, Deontay Wilder, Luis King Kong Ortiz. But this is what they're supposed to be doing, and I don't have a problem. Thing a little bit different with Golovkin, because some people are probably going to try to catch me up or whatever. While I'm critical of Golovkin, because he also is an Olympian, silver medalist, not gold. Just like Joshua, he has been to the Olympics. He's 34. Anthony Joshua is 26. And then the other thing is Golovkin has a lot more fights than Anthony Joshua. And I think he has a lot more amateur fights too, 350. So at this point, I want to see Golovkin face the tough challenges, you know what I mean? Guys who have anything like a good skill set or something that would offset what Golovkin does well. We've seen that with Joshua in only 17 fights. Dillian Whyte, a guy who beat him in the amateurs, just like Nicholas Walters and Miguel Mariaga. He has to avenge that. He has to show you that that was a fluke, and I've learned a lot since then. Dillian Whyte is a mixed martial artist, and then he went into boxing. He has a high knockout percentage. It was a grudge match where he has like the psychological edge. He didn't really show any fear. If you watch the gloves are off face-off style thing that they did with Joshua, he was trash talking and he was calling Joshua a scumbag. You know what I mean? Stuff like that gets under your skin. So I really wanted to see that fight, and it turned out to be a good fight. And there was even adversity in the fight because Joshua got rocked, I think, in the second round. You know what I mean? So that's what I'd like to see from a young champion. Put him in there thick, see how he emerges. You know what I mean? So a fight with Joseph Parker, I love it. I think it's a great idea. If Joseph Parker gets past his next opponent, let's see it. It's a mandatory. And if Joshua wins, that sets the stage for a 2017 Wilder fight. That's what I really want to see. You know what I mean? Wilder's already called him out and stuff. He's healing his hand currently due to a hand injury. But I'm telling you, if Joshua keeps his winning ways, that fight is going to be talked about until it happens. And you know what I mean? Canelo and Triple G. This is a fight I want to see. Wilder versus Joshua. Actually, I do want to see Canelo Triple G, but what I'm saying is if it's going to be a bunch of ring around the rosies and politics and stuff like that, see what Joshua and Wilder are talking about, because the characters of the two, I don't really see them going into the Canelo Triple G mode where it's going to be a whole bunch of banter and take 2-3 years to make. I think they both have the temperament. I mean, Eddie Hearn put Kell Brook in there with Golovkin, so I mean, if Joshua keeps learning and stuff, I don't see him not making that fight. In fact, I interviewed him. The interview's on my channel, and he says that's a future fight that they're building up to. So I think Eddie Hearn realizes that this is going to need to happen at some point. But for now, Joshua versus Joseph Parker is a great fight. I'll keep you updated and let you know if it gets finalized. But first, Parker has to win his next fight. I really like how Joshua's career is coming. He looks like he's training hard, always in mad shape and diesel and stuff. So let me know what you guys think of AJ, and do you like this for the next step, or do you prefer David Price or someone else? Don't say Tyson Fury, because if he's mentally unstable or whatever, or bipolar or whatever they're saying he is, to the point where he can't fight Klitschko, then there's no way he's going to fight Joshua. It doesn't even make sense, an aggressive style, if you don't got your shit together. So I'll keep you guys updated with the heavyweight division. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you like my video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.